Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Devotees, let's start. Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine. Nirvishesha Shunnyavadi Pashat Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavranda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay. Let me sing Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. And Prabhupada has a smile on his face. And yesterday we were seeing his disciples were singing prayers while massaging. Alright, so Prabhupada likes the prayers. Prayers to our acharyas, prayers to the Lord. So similarly, we also like to sing our prayers in the morning. So let's sing. Would you like to sing today, Aarti Mataji, Jagannath Ashtakam?
I will read Prabhuji. I will. I'm in translation actually. I have not
Okay.
practiced, so I'm just scared of mispronouncing something.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Pawan Prabhuji, would you like to try?
No, Prabhuji, same thing. Maybe afraid of mispronouncing.
तो भगवान तो हमारा भाव देखते हैं तो ठीक है सभी आप साथ साथ में म्यूट पे you can sing along so that way you also get to practice and you're also we are putting in our efforts. Then when we put in our effort, then the Lord will reciprocate. Okay, all right, I can sing then. Let's start from the beginning. Shri Jagannath Ashtakam ki jai, Shri Adi Shankaracharya ki jai. कदाचित् कालिन्दी तटविपिन सङ्गीतकरवो मुदाभीरीनारी वदन कमलास्वादमधुपः रमाशम्भु ब्रह्मा मरपति गणेशाचितपदो जगन्नाथः स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे भुजे सव्ये वेणुं शिरसि शिखिपिच्छं कटितटे तुकूलुं नेत्रान्ते सहचरकटाक्षं विदधते सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावनवसति लीला परिचयो जगन्नाथः स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे महाम्भोधेस्तीरे कनकरुचिरे नीलशिखरे वसन् प्रासादान्तः सहजबलभद्रेण बलिना सुभद्रा मध्यस्थः सकलसुरसेवावसरदो जगन्नाथः स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे कृपापारावारः सजलजलदश्रेणिरुचिरो रमावाणी रामः स्फुरदमलपङ्केरुहमुखः सुरेन्द्रैराराध्यः श्रुतिगणशिखगीतचरितो जगन्नाथः स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे रथारूढो गच्छन् अतिमिलितभूदेवपटलै स्तुतिप्रादुर्भावं प्रतिपदमुपाकर्ण्य सदयः दयासिन्धुर्बन्धुः सकलजगतां सिन्धुसुतया जगन्नाथः स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे परब्रह्मापीडः कुवलयदलोत्फुल्लनयनो निवासी नीलाद्रौ निहितचरणोऽनन्तशिरसि रसानन्दो राधा सरसवपुरालिङ्गनसुखो जगन्नाथः स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे नयै न वै याचे राज्यं न च कनकमाणिक्यविभवम् न याचेऽहं रम्यां सकलजनकाम्यां वरवधूं सदा काले काले प्रमथपतिना गीतचरितो जगन्नाथः स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे हरत्वं संसारं द्रुततरमसारं सुरपते हरत्वं पापानां विततिमपरां यादवपते अहो दीने नाथे निहितचरणो निश्चितमिदम् जगन्नाथः स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथाष्टकं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः शुचिः सर्वपापविशुद्धात्मा विष्णुलोकं स गच्छति हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री जगन्नाथ अष्टकम की जय श्री आदिशंकराचार्य की जय जगतगुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय ओके translations Pawan Prabhu, would you like to read translation in English? You're on mute, Pawan Prabhu. Or Aarti Mataji, if you want to read, that's okay.
If Pavan Prabhuji wants to read, he can.
No,
Otherwise, I
go
can
ahead,
read.
Mataji. You had
I'm
volunteered
sure.
earlier.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Translation. Sometimes, in great happiness, Lord Jagannath makes a loud concert with his flute in the groves on the bank of the river Yamuna. He's like a bumblebee tasting the beautiful lotus like faces of the cowherd damsels of Vraja, and great personalities such as Lakshmi, Shiva, Brahma, Indra, and Ganesha worship his lotus feet. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. In his left hand, Lord Jagannath holds a flute. On his head, he wears peacock feathers. On his hips, he wears fine yellow silken cloth. From the corners of his eyes, he bestows sidelong glances upon his loving devotees, and he always reveals himself through his pastimes in his divine abode of Vrindavan. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. On the shore of the great ocean, within a large palace, atop the brilliant gold Nilchala hill, Lord Jagannath resides with his powerful brother Balbhadra and his sister Subhadra, who sits between them. May that Jagannath Swami, who bestows the opportunity for devotional service upon all godly souls, be the object of my vision. Lord Jagannath is an ocean of mercy and as beautiful as row of blackish rain clouds. He is the storehouse of bliss for Lakshmi and Saraswati, and his face resembles a spotless, full-blown lotus. The best of demigods and sages worship him, and the Upanishads sing his glories. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. When Lord Jagannath moves along the roadside on his Rath Yatra car, at every step, large assemblies of Brahmanas loudly chant prayers and sing songs for his pleasure. Hearing their hymns, Lord Jagannath becomes very favorably disposed towards them. He is the ocean of mercy and the true friend of all the world. May that Jagannath Swami, along with his consort Lakshmi, who was born from the ocean of nectar, be the object of my vision. Lord Jagannath, whose eyes resemble full blown lotus petals, is the ornament on Lord Brahma's head. He resides on Nilchala hill with his lotus feet placed on the heads of Anantadev. Overwhelmed by the mallows of love, he joyfully embraces Srimati Radharani's body, which is like a cool pond. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. I do not pray for the kingdom, nor do I pray for gold, rubies, or wealth. I do not ask for a beautiful wife as desired by all men. I simply pray that Lord Jagannath Swami, whose glories Lord Shiva always sings, may be the constant object of my vision. O Lord of the demigods, please quickly remove this useless material existence I am undergoing. O Lord of the Yadus, please destroy this vast, shoreless ocean of sins. Alas, this is certain. Lord Jagannath bestows his lotus feet upon those who feel themselves fallen and have no shelter in this world but him. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. The self restrained, virtuous soul who recites these 8 verses glorifying Lord Jagannath become cleansed of all sins and duly proceeds to Lord Vishnu's abode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. So here we are reading this material world and our existence is a ocean, right? It's a shoreless ocean of sins. And yesterday, Prabhupada Leelamrit Prabhupada is explaining Padam, that this Padam Yadvipadam, this, and somebody, I think one of the disciples was asking, what is the meaning of Lord's lotus feet? And Prabhupada is explaining that this whole material world existence is like an ocean of sins, and at the time of death, it is so hard to cross over this. But one who surrendered completely to the lotus, who have taken the lotus, shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, for them, that ocean becomes like a small hoof of footprint of a small calf, right? And then we are able to easily cross over this ocean at the time of death. So similarly here, Jagannath, in the Jagannath Ashtakam also, Adi Shankaracharya is explaining a similar thing. And surrender also Prabhupada explained yesterday very nicely, right? Surrender, जो हम शरणागति बोलते हैं, शरणागति is very easily obtained if we fully surrender to the Lord. And surrender should be like, not like market vairagya, not like जैसे बंदर करते हैं, like in monkeys, they would, the small child, the small baby monkey will hold on to the mother, right? Like, with its own strength, it will try to hold on to the mother. But if the mother is jumping from one tree to another tree, sometimes there are chances that the baby, if it is not completely cling to the mother, it may fall, right? Because it's trying to cling on to the mother. लेकिन जो बिल्ली होती है, cat, मार्जर वैराग्य बोलते हैं कि बिल्ली, she holds the kitten in her mouth herself, right? So the kitten is fully surrendered. So the kitten is fully surrendered, and the cat will hold in its mouth, and then it will carry. So it is completely unafraid because the mother will make sure that she will hold her carefully. And like Prabhupada was giving the other example, like if it is mouse, will be so fearful in the mouth of a cat, because the cat will, the same mouth that holds the kitten can actually kill the rat. So, but the surrender should really be like that kitten. So we say, "Oh Krishna, oh Jagannath, I'm yours completely," right? And then you take care. So when the Lord takes care, then He will protect, just like a cat protects a kitten. Versus if we try to do from our own artificial means, by mukti, siddhi, our own mental speculation, we try to surrender partially, right? That's why Prabhupada says our reciprocation of the Lord is corresponding to our degree of surrender. So how much are we surrendered? So our surrender should be like the kitten who is completely surrendered to her mother, versus like a monkey who tries to artificially hold on by its own strength. So that was the kind of the learning from yesterday's reading, and Srila Prabhupada is now recovering from his heart attack. So let's continue from here. And his disciples are also saying that they should become more sincere and strict in their sadhana, so that the karma of theirs don't affect their spiritual master. All right. Another reason for Swamiji's illness, Kirtananda said, was that Krishna had arranged it to engage them all in intimate service to Swamiji. By serving a pure devotee, one gains the favor of Krishna, and Krishna was letting them all become purified by massaging and serving Swamiji so intimately. Satsvarupa recalled that Swamiji had said in a letter to the devotees in San Francisco that he was supposed to have died, but their prayers had saved him. Swamiji had told Kirtanananda that Krishna had heard the devotees' prayers and had granted their wishes. Krishna was allowing Swamiji to go on with his mission of spreading Krishna consciousness in the West. It wasn't on his own behalf that Swamiji wanted to live, but to continue his mission. Everyone agreed with Kirtanananda that it was a form of impersonalism for them to think that because Swamiji was a pure devotee, he didn't need their loving care. They should continue to care for Swamiji even after he got better. He had put himself in their care, and they had to reciprocate accordingly. Swamiji had said they were like fathers to him, so they should not allow him to play the drum long and vigorously, to sing in the park for hours, to stay up talking late at night, or to do anything that might endanger his health. Rai Ram said that Swamiji had asked him to reply to several letters from devotees on the West Coast and explain that he would probably never again be able to take on the strain of public lectures. The Sankirtan movement now rested on their shoulders. Rai Ram had explained in his letters that it was Krishna's grace that Swamiji was still with them and able to advise them when things got rough. But now they must increase their efforts to distribute Krishna consciousness to the world. The talk turned to the need for them to realize Swamiji's instructions and become strong devotees. Everyone agreed that they could do this by studying Swamiji's books more carefully and always acting according to his instructions. When they told Prabhupada about their philosophical discussions, he replied only briefly, Krishna heard all your sincere prayers, and he thought, all right, let him stay and do his nonsense. So many devotees are praying on his behalf. Hmm. This is humility of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Before Prabhupada's illness, the devotees had planned a big event in Tompkins Square Park for Sunday, June 4th. The parks department had given them the use of a loudspeaker system and the stage and band shell. Mr. Coleman, producer of the Hare Krishna record, had encouraged them to advertise and had gotten in touch with the TV stations. The devotees had begun making Hare Krishna mantra signs so that everyone, even the TV viewer, could chant. Although now unable to go, Srila Prabhupada said they should still have their festival. He would compose a special address for Kirtanananda to read to the public. From his hospital bed, he dictated this short speech, an address to American youth by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. On June 4th, several hundred people gathered around the band shell in Tompkins Square Park while the devotees played harmonium, kartals, and madangas and chanted Hare Krishna over the PA system. Many people in the crowd chanted along, playing their own instruments and even joining the devotees on stage. Kirtanananda stood before the microphone and announced that Bhaktivedanta Swami, although ill at Beth Israel Hospital, had prepared a message for everyone. Many among the Lower East Side crowd were acquainted with Bhaktivedanta Swami and his chanting of Hare Krishna. They listened as Kirtanananda read, My dear, young beautiful boys and girls of America, I have come to your country with great hope and a great mission. My spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivajacharya Acharya Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj asked me to preach the cult of Lord Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Western world. That was the seed-giving incident. Gradually, the seed fructified, and I was prepared to come to the Western world. Still, I do not know why I was so much attracted by the land of America. But from within, Krishna dictated that instead of going to Europe, I should better go to America. So you can see that I have come to your country under order of superior authority. And even after arriving here, when I perceived that some of the youngsters are being misled, confused, and frustrated, this is not the condition of your country only, but in every country, the young people are neglected, although it is they who are the flower and the future hope of everyone. So I thought to myself that if I go to the American youth with my message and they join with me in this movement, then it will spread all over the world, and then all the problems of the world will be solved. How I would like to be with you in person today, but Krishna has prevented that. So please pardon me and accept my blessings in this written form. This process of Sankirtan, the singing and dancing, is so nice because from the very beginning it places everyone on the spiritual platform. There are different platforms or levels to our existence: the bodily platform, the mental platform, the intellectual platform, and the spiritual platform. When you stand on the spiritual platform, then all the problems created by the necessities of the body, mind, intellect, and ego become solved. Therefore, I appeal to you to join this movement most seriously. The process is very simple. We ask everyone to come join with us in chanting. Hear something of the philosophy of the life taught by Lord Krishna. Take a little prasadam, food stuff that is prepared and offered to the Lord, and peacefully, with refreshed mind, go home. That is our mission. We do have certain restrictions. Practically, they are not restrictions, but something better in place of something inferior. The other day, Mr. Alan Burke questioned me on his television program, Swamiji, why do you insist on marriage? And I answered him, unless one becomes peaceful in home life, how can he make any advance in any other area of life or knowledge? Therefore, everyone should get married just to be happy and peaceful. You are all beautiful, nice, educated boys and girls. Why shouldn't you get married and live happily? If you live peacefully, regulated lives, eating nothing but Krishna Prasadam, then the tissues in your brain will develop for spiritual consciousness and understanding. However, if you are not agreeable to these simple restrictions, still I request you to join the chanting with us. Everybody can do that. And that will gradually clarify everything, and all problems will be solved, and you will find a new chapter of your life. Just this week, I have received a letter from a girl in New Jersey who has had such an experience. She writes, "Dear Swamiji, you don't know me by my name, but I'm the girl who joined your parade in Washington Square this past Saturday. When I first saw your group, I thought you were all crazy, either that or on dope of some kind. After listening and talking with some of you, I realized that it was neither of those. You people plainly believed in what you were doing, and I admired you for that much. But my curiosity drove me further, and I had to find out why. So I followed you, and as I did, the chant you sang began to take hold. The next thing I know, I felt free of myself, and I was singing too. I didn't know where I was or where I was going, but I was so elated. I was too elated to care. It wasn't until we stopped that I learned where I was. By that time, I had picked up bits and pieces of what Krishna consciousness was about. One of your members asked me to visit your temple, and I followed you still further, hoping to discover just what it was that made you feel so strong about something I had never heard of. After having taken a meal with you and reading your literature, I left, but not alone. I took with me a new awareness of life. It occurred to me how futile my desires for the material things in life were, that a new dress, or big house, or color television were not important. If only people would open their eyes to the endless number of pleasures God has already given us, there would be no need for looking any further. You people are truly lucky. You may have had to do without many things, but because of this, you are able to enjoy the simple, God given treasures of the world. Because of your beliefs, you are the wealthy, and I thank you for sharing a bit of that wealth with me. So we invite you to please chant with us. It is such a nice thing. Come to our temple if you like. Take a little prasadam and be happy. It is not very difficult if you just chant this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That will save you. Thank you very much and God bless you. Srila Prabhupada was eager to leave the hospital. For several days, he had wanted to go. They are simply sticking needles, he complained, and each day was putting his society into further debt. The devotees had rented a small seaside house in Long Branch, New Jersey, where Prabhupada could go to recuperate. Kirtanananda, they decided, would be Prabhupada's cook, and Gaurasundara and his wife Govinda Dasi were arriving from San Francisco to do the housekeeping and help. But the doctor wanted Prabhupada to stay for another brain wave test and more observation. One day, while Brahmananda and Gargamuni were visiting Prabhupada, the doctor entered and announced that the Swami would have to go downstairs for an X-ray. No needle? Prabhupada asked. Yes, the doctor replied. It's all right. When the nurse brought in a bed on wheels, Prabhupada said he wanted Gargamuni to push it. He then sat on it cross-legged and put his hand in his bead bag, and Gargamuni, following the nurse, wheeled him out the door, down the hall, and onto the elevator. They went down to the third floor and entered a room. The nurse left them alone. Gargamuni could sense Prabhupada's uneasiness. He was also nervous. It was such an unlikely place for him to be with his spiritual master. Then a different nurse entered with a needle. Time to give the Swami a little injection. No, Prabhupada shook his head. I'm sorry, Gargamuni said flatly. We are not going to do it. The nurse was exasperated but smiled. It won't hurt. Take me back, Prabhupada ordered Gargamuni. When the nurse insisted, Gargamuni acted rashly, his usual tendency, and stepped between the nurse and Srila Prabhupada. I'm ready to fight if I have to, Gargamuni thought. I won't let you do it, he said, and wheeled the bed out of the room, leaving the nurse behind. Gargamuni was lost. He was somewhere on the third or fourth floor, faced with corridors and doors, and Prabhupada's room was on the sixth floor. Unsure where he was going, Gargamuni wheeled through the corridors with Prabhupada sitting cross-legged, chanting on his beads. Brahmananda arrived at the X-ray lab seconds after Gargamuni's escape. The nurse and an intern complained to him about what had happened. Brahmananda. They considered this a theft. Swamiji was their property. As long as he was in the hospital, he was theirs to do whatever they pleased with. Gargamuni had stolen Swamiji away from them. Gargamuni got to the elevator. He had difficulty maneuvering the bed and in his haste bumped into the wall. He forgot what floor Swamiji was on. He only knew that he was protecting Swamiji, who wanted to be taken away. When Gargamuni finally reached Prabhupada's room 607, an intern was there and spoke angrily. I don't care, Gargamuni said. He doesn't want any more needles or tests. We want to leave. Brahmananda arrived, calmed his younger brother, and helped Prabhupada back into bed. Prabhupada said he wanted to leave, When the doctor came in, Prabhupada sat up and spoke decisively. Doctor, I'm all right. I can go. And he shook the doctor's hand to show him he was hale and hearty. The doctor chuckled. He said that although Swamiji was getting stronger, he would have to stay a few more days. He was by no means out of danger yet. He required careful medical surveillance. They needed to run another electroencephalogram. Srila Prabhupada still had pains around his heart, but he told the doctor his boys had a place for him to rest by the seaside. This was very good, the doctor said, but he couldn't let his patient go just yet. But Prabhupada had made up his mind. Brahmananda and Gargamuni arranged for a rented car. They gathered Prabhupada's things and helped him dress. As they escorted him out of his room, and the hospital staff saw that the boys were actually taking the old man away, some of the doctors and nurses tried to stop them. Brahmananda told them not to worry. Swamiji was very dear to them, and they would take good care of him. He would get regular massages and plenty of rest, and they would get him whatever medicines the doctors prescribed. After a rest by the seaside, he could come back for a checkup. Brahmananda. Then the doctors became fed up. They threatened us. This man is going to die. They really scared us. They said, this man is going to die, and it is going to be your fault. Even as we left, they said, this man is condemned to death. It was horrible. At 10 a.m. on June 8, they left the hospital. Prabhupada wanted to stop briefly at the temple at 26th Avenue before going to the house in Long Branch. Entering the storefront, walking shakily, he came before the portraits of his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and his spiritual master's father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. For the first time, Prabhupada's disciples saw him offer fully prostrated obeisances. As he prostrated himself before his Guru Maharaj, his disciples also paid obeisances and felt their devotion increase. When Prabhupada arrived at his cottage in Long Branch at 1 o'clock, he had Kirtanananda immediately begin cooking lunch. It would be Prabhupada's first regular hot meal, rice, dal, chapatis, sabji, since his stroke 9 days ago. Prabhupada went to bed but soon got up and came into the kitchen, asking, Is it ready? Kirtanananda made a few excuses and said he would hurry. After a few minutes, Prabhupada returned. He seemed furious. Why are you taking so long? Kirtanananda moved as quickly as he could, but he couldn't make the dal boil any faster. Whatever you have, Prabhupada said, let me eat it. I don't care if it is raw. Kirtanananda served lunch and Prabhupada ate with relish of a person in good health. Kirtananda telephoned his pal Hayagriva in San Francisco. He ate like anything. It was wonderful to see. Hare Krishna. Okay. That's all there for today. And yes, anybody would like to share any thoughts, reflections, anything that you liked from today's reading? I think a couple of thoughts that came to my mind. One was, of course, Prabhupada, how much, again, like we see, we were talking about surrender, and he was completely surrendered to his Guru Maharaj, to the Guru Parampara, and to the Lord, that he had faith that he'll be able to take care, his disciples will be able to take care. And yeah, whenever he was referencing, like the letter that he wrote, he could just simply say Hare Krishna, but he always has full faith, and like we said, the power of the prayers open the doors of our heart. There's so much potency in these prayers that every time Prabhupada says Hare Krishna, he writes the whole Maha Mantra, so that anybody who reads will be able to read, right? So even if they read the letter once, all the people are hearing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra fully. And yeah, again, in this frailty of his health, is going to the temple and praying full prostrated obeisances. So that shows us, that power actually comes from that surrender, from being fully surrendered to your Guru Maharaj. And even at that condition of health, he's bowing down, and his disciples also following him. They feel like their devotion is increasing. So that is the process we say Vandanam. When we offer prayers, we offer obeisances. When we visit temples, deities, we should offer Dandvat Pranams. That is the culture, and that is what blesses us. The deities and the Guru Parampara blesses us by their mercy when we bow our head. So that should be the standard. And we see from Prabhupada's health at the age of 70, if he is doing it, then we are just kids, right now in his moment. So that should be our mood also when we go to temples or when we the senior Vaishnavas, we should always bow down and fully offer full Dandavad Pranams. Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts, reflections, comments? Shama Karuna Mataji, anything you'd like to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. I liked that point where the girl wrote a letter to Prabhupada and how she was fascinated by the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and how she started to chant the name, and fully she had the faith of Swamiji's. I mean, the process of this Hare Krishna movement. And that is the one which I really liked it. And I liked the Prabhupada, how hungry he was. So he regained so fastly, and because he had full faith in his Guru Maharaj's words and his Guru Maharaj's blessings, especially, not words, but Guru Maharaj's blessings. So he came back to what he has to do and complete his work for the work. So that few things I really like, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and like one impression who are sincere, dedicated souls. And there are many, like Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj also used to say, this movement would have died, if it was not authentic, not bona fide. But just we see all around the world it's catching up. And like you said, that one girl, just by hearing the Mahamantra one time, that changed her life. And how heartfully she responded, or wrote that letter back to Prabhupada. Mm, yeah. And yes, Srila Prabhupada wanted to become fit again, so that he could serve. That is his mood. So yeah, he's eating this prasadam because he knows prasadam is not different from Krishna, and he's so eager to take Krishna into himself fully, not just Kirtan. Of course, through his ears, he was hearing his disciples sing, and now he also wants to eat Krishna's prasadam so that he can become fully well soon, and he can go back to serving his Guru Maharaj's mission. And yeah, we see, like we were saying, how he night after night he would stay up, right? And so literally, like I think, and yesterday we were reading that captain of the ship, and he was coming on Jaladuta. She said she used to read palms, and she said if he lives beyond 71, then he will live up to 100, right? Of course, Prabhupada lived only up to 81, but in that 81 years also, I'm sure he actually achieved more than what somebody can achieve in 100 years of life also, right? Because how much of time he dedicated, because his nights were so short. He used to sleep so less. So whatever other people may have achieved in 100 years, he actually achieved even in 80 years itself by his sadhana, by his dedication and sincerity and determination to serve his Guru Maharaj. So yeah, thank you, Mataji.
One thing, Prabhuji, I want to mention, like
Hmm.
Prabhupada ji was totally surrendered to Krishna and has full faith in on his Guru Maharaj. Same way, his disciples, they have full faith on Prabhupada ji's words, like doctor, even after threatening by doctor that he's going to die, don't take him from the hospital. His disciples, they just listen to Prabhupada, that Prabhupada ji wants to go. Then I was imagining that how he was escaping, his disciple was escaping with Prabhupada ji from the corridor, and he even forgot the room number, but he was just blindly following the instructions. He was totally surrendered, like
Hmm.
he just wanted to follow Prabhupadaji's word. And the other thing I found it like I was just imagining how Prabhupada was eating, like when he said he's eating like anything. So that was like I was imagining, okay, how like when we are hungry, we eat food like in hurry. So
Hmm.
Prabhupada must be doing that. So thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice reading. And yeah, that girl's letter was very inspiring. That how meeting for the first time to Prabhupada, she began to believe in the Krishna consciousness moment and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That was very inspiring. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, that is the power of a Uttam Adhikari, pure devotee of the Lord. They just by their vision, one can become purified. So just by Prabhupada's, just like she said, she heard Prabhupada, she saw Prabhupada, just that is the potency they have, that just by their vision, they can make hundreds and thousands of people into pure Vaishnavas. So, but yeah, that was very inspiring. Thank you for sharing, Aarti Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shamakarna Mataji. Okay, so we can stop here, 6:36. And with Vaishnava Pranam prayers, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavindi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit ki jai, all the glorious devotees of Krishna consciousness movement, all of you ki jai, for joining on Sunday morning.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. It was
Hare
such a
Krishna.
nice class. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandvat pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.